Guess who's back?
Chicken Little really fell from the sky, and half the truth ain't nothing but a lie. Art and Blow coming through with the truth. Keep it 100, that's the only rule. Every week, bring something you ain't know. Hot topics, that's the name of the show. Hit us with a like, follow, share, and a cash app coming to you, player. Chicken Little really fell from the sky, and half the truth.
Guess who's back? It's your boy Art, the sidekick Chloe. Welcome to another edition, the time to tell the truth. That's what we do around here. We tell the truth. Okay, we got a hot episode for you today. This is why people won't stand up. This is why we won't stand up. We're going to bring y'all some clips today and show you exactly why people don't stand up, bro.
You already know it's time to tell the truth. Give us a call, 704-449-6563. Again, 704-449-6563. Add like, add highlights your followers. You already know how we do. You can find us on YouTube as well at Time to Tell the Truth Podcast, all one word.
That's right. Throw your cash apps up. We're about to get it popping. We're going to bring y'all a video. Y'all remember several months back, we was talking about this Rohor group, this black African group that they tried to lock up, and they Biden them invaded their houses and locked them up for things. Man, these people was trying to do some good, and they wind up getting bad. And we're going to show y'all this clip. We're going to show you why most people will not stand up, bro. They won't stand up because of this very thing that the people and the government try to do to keep us under their thumb. Mm-hmm. Whenever somebody try to do something, they try to keep you under their thumb simply because they want you begging them. They want you dependent on the government. They want to keep you right there. That's a fact. You know, they arrested these people. They took them into court. They found them guilty on half of it. The other half, they let them go. The judge sided with them, but still found them guilty. This can easily happen to you, me, Blow, anybody, if we don't pay attention to what's going on out here.
Yeah. So basically, they found them guilty of conspiracy, but found them not guilty of the actual thing. What they got found guilty for conspiring to do.
Yeah, absolutely. They charged them with conspiring Russian agents. When you look at these people, you're going to be able to know that these people are not Russian agents at all. No kind of way, never have been, never had been, but the government saw fit to crush them for a specific reason. They wanted to crush the movement. They want to crush what they're doing, and that's what they wanted to do. That's a fact. That's what they try to do. We want people to be woke, wake up out here and find out what our government is trying to do. People tell me, oh, they ain't trying to do that. Yes, they do. They've been doing it. They still doing it. They're going to continue to do it unless we wake up and find out and look at what these people been doing and what they're doing to anybody that try to help the black people, that try to help black people get banks, help black, me and Bro been hollering about, we ain't got no doggone grocery store. There's no grocery chains of black grocery stores out there. Why? Because the government crushes every time somebody try to do that, they will crush it. Black farmers markets, none of that. Supermarket, all of this stuff, they crush it. Why do the government crush it? They want you dependent on them. That's been their whole objective. And we're going to show you today these group of people, these group of black activists, okay, that's been trying to help the black community and try to help bring stuff like banks, black banks and grocery stores and stuff like that to the black community so they won't have to depend on the government. But the government went after them and stayed after them and locked them up. And they hadn't done nothing. This could easily happen to you. It easily happen to you if you try to do something right. This is why people don't help out. We're going to start out showing this clip and see what's going on.
How did prosecuting these black socialists under the guise of Russiagate, basically, which is an obviously bogus charge, and in fact, even the jury and the judge saw it. What was in it for the Biden administration to do this, do you think? So we covered this. The FBI conducted coordinated raids against a black liberation organization called the Uhurus. FBI's so here it is. What's the date on this? It's hot. That was in August of 2022. And because what had happened is that the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, conducted a violent raid on the home of Omali Yeshitela, chairman of the U.S.-based African People's Socialist Party in St. Louis, Missouri. And here's how it got covered by the news.
Good evening, Keith. This is one of 7 properties owned by the Uhuru movement that was raided by the FBI last July. Now, a newly unsealed federal indictment charges 4 people here locally with being agents of the Russian government.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had the head of a...
I ain't never worked for a Russian. Never, 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 never.
In his first local news conference on April 10th with the media regarding the raid on his home, Omali Yeshitela denied working with or for the Russian government.
This is ridiculous. You know it's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous.
But now
I want to stop and say something right there. First of all, how they characterize it as a violent raid. They didn't have to go in there. The man's 83 years old. Come on, man. You got to go in there with guns blazing. You got to go in there doing all this. That's for people to see. That's for optics. They call that optics right there. You know, when you look at something like that and see the FBI running around in there with bags and coming in with guns, that's just pure optics to make it look bad. That's what they did. Y'all know that black man right there saying, I ain't never been no Russian agent. I ain't trying to be. Y'all know that. And I know the man is absolutely right. And they know he was right. But they did that specifically to crush that movement that they had, which is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. You try to go in there, and this man ain't doing nothing but trying to help out people in black communities and stuff like that, and you go in there and crush them because you can't have that. Okay, you're not allowed to have that. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take black people off of the government's time or tit or whatever they want to say and start some kind of movement of their own, like grocery stores and stuff like that, so they won't be dependent on the government. They can't have that. So they took these people and crushed them. And they tried to crush their movement. They tried to bankrupt them and everything else. That's why people today won't stand up. That's the reason they will not stand up today. Well, we're going to show you some more of this clip. But I'm just trying to show you this is what goes on.
unsealed federal indictment charges Yeshitela, along with Jesse Neville, Joanne Hess, and Augustus Romaine with acting as agents of Russia. The indictment charges they worked to spread Russian propaganda and to influence local elections. The indictment also says they spread information to back Russian aggression in Ukraine. The federal charges say the Uhurus worked with Russian agent Alexander Ionov and took money from him to spread Russian propaganda on their radio station and digital platforms. Members of the Uhuru movement did not answer phone calls or text messages today, but the charges of Russian collusion are things the group has denied in the past when they spoke of the FBI raid on their property.
So they actually got convicted. So, but it was wild that what the judge said in the conviction. He said the judge said he is not inclined to give prison time in this case against the members. In a sentencing hearing, he said everything they did here was political speech. I eminently disagree with all of it. These people spit on this flag that actually protects them, and then he didn't protect them. He then convicted them under BS charges under BS law. The four were convicted in September trial on charges of conspiracy to act as agents of the Russian government without notifying the attorney general. A jury delivered not guilty verdicts for the more serious charge of acting as Russian agents.
Now, I'm going to say something about that. We're going to stop it right there. We're going to finish playing it, but we're going to stop it right there for a second. This was no more than free speech. You can't say what you want about who you want unless they want you to. This is what it's done come to. This is what it's done come to. You can't say what you want about who you want. They want to charge you as a Russian man. You can't just say what you want, but if it's okay with them, if it's on the other side, you can say anything you want to say and nothing come out. You can talk junk about a president, any country, this country. They do it all the time, but nobody's locking them up. But this black group, they want to lock this group up. Why did they lock these people up? We're going to get into that, why they did it. But I'm telling you right now, they did it to crush anything that they had going on as far as trying to help people and get the people off the government, because they can't have that. Simple as that. They can't have nobody out here. You know who they got to have out here? They got to have Charlemagne the God out here.
Yep.
They got to have Whoopi Goldberg out here. They got to have Steve Harvey out here. They got to have Michelle Obama out here. They got to have everybody out here that's going to try to trick the black people into thinking that these people is some earthly good. And you can do that, okay, if you want to keep your money. That's the only way they let you keep your money, is that you better be on that side that's helping keep these people down. I'm just telling you, that's just the way it is. We come on here and we try to tell the truth the way it is. And that's just the way it is. If you ain't out here telling these black people that you better be getting on board with these Democratic parties and these lunatic ideas that they have, okay, about making your little boys girls and your little girls boys, okay, that's lunacy at best. Okay, at best that's lunacy. Okay, and anybody know it that's got half a brain.
Yeah, they don't allow them to start talking about in school with you. That's for the house.
Absolutely.
Don't talk to my kid about nothing like that, man. You ain't got no business talking to my kid about their sexuality.
Right, and they want to hide that from the parent.
Freedom of speech isn't free. You're right.
Right, freedom of speech isn't free. They wanted to do that. These people just doing free speech, and that's what they get out of it. It's locked up. Why is that particular free speech bad? Because they was doing something for a certain community and they didn't like it, and it was a way. Me and Blow talk about it all the time. Dog, how come we ain't got no black grocery store chain? We got all these millionaires and billionaires, but just so happened not one of them want to make a grocery store chain. We got Latino grocery store chains, Asians, Compare Foods, all this stuff. But just so happen you ain't got a chain. Come on, man. I ain't the smartest crayon in the pack. But I can think, I do have a brain. I can question something to say, wait a minute, this don't make sense. And it don't make sense. Why ain't we got it? But people get out here and they get you to march for the wrong thing. You know, they'll get you to march for a woman to have an abortion that's not even pregnant yet. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you ain't pregnant yet, you don't have to get pregnant. How about that?
That's the stuff that psychopaths are made of.
Absolutely. How about that? If you ain't pregnant, just don't get pregnant. You got plenty of ways not to get pregnant without getting out there, marching on the side to make sure you have an abortion. Come on, man, make this stuff make sense. These people have been using psyops on us. They've been telling us the exact opposite. They've been indoctrinating the children instead of educating the children. That's what they've been doing. Y'all know it. Go in the supermarket, hand them a bill, let them ring up $10.56, okay, and give them 50 cents and see if they can count some change back to you.
I done tried it before, and I ain't gonna lie to you. That is like, don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you want to get back extra money.
Yeah.
I had to do the math for the young man. I went up there, well, I ain't gonna name the establishment, but it's close by as a restaurant.
Yeah.
I went up there, I gave the joker $21. My total was, I think my total was like $11.50 something. I $21.50 something. Percy gave me back a $5 bill. And I said, man, hey, I gave you the right change. You know, you're supposed to, you know, just give me back the even amount. He gave me the whole 20 back.
I mean, this guy done graduated. Okay, come on, man. They ain't even teaching them how to count.
They're not.
Yeah, they just indoctrinating. But I guarantee you, he tell you if he's non-binary, binary, LGBTQ plus AI, and all of that. That's what you call indoctrination. Okay, I'm just telling you, we got to keep our eyes on these people. All right, we're gonna get back to this right here, so y'all know what's going on.
Keeping it 100, Art.
Now I'm trying, man.
You're definitely keeping it 100.
Government accused the group of acting for 7 years on behalf of the Russian government. This is how crazy Russiagate got. And of course, this was all garbage. And so no jail time. Really? They're Russian agents. You don't want to send them to jail? It's just speech. But anyway, so let me bring in two of the people. Jesse Neville is a chair of the Yoo-Hoo Solidarity Movement, or organizing campaigns for white reparations to the African anti-Zionist Jewish man focused on the history of Zionism, the development and use of international law, and the concept of genocide, and on the colonial theft of the land of Palestine. Also, Akili Anai is a director of the media and communications work for the African People's Socialist Party and editor-in-chief of the Burning Spear newspaper. She was targeted in the 2022 FBI raids on the Uhuru movement, but never charged. In 2017, she ran for a seat on the St. Petersburg, Florida City Council and was profiled in Ebony magazine as a millennial of change. Please welcome both of you to the show.
Thanks so much for having us.
So now tell me, there's an update to this story, right? So they were convicted. What is the update?
Well, Jesse, do you want to go into that, or?
Sure, I can. Well, thank you again, Jimmy, for having us on, and thank you to all of your listeners as well for paying attention to this case and for putting a spotlight on this completely bogus, absurd prosecution that the U.S. government under the Biden administration carried out against the Uhuru movement. And just to further elaborate in terms of my role in this, I represent the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. So we work under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party and Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who has been fighting for Black liberation for his entire life. And he is 83 years old. He was part of the Black Power movement of the 1960s and has fought to complete the Black Revolution ever since. And he created the Solidarity movement that myself and Penny Hess, the other part of the Uhuru Three who was indicted, to organize white people to stand in solidarity with the struggle for Black liberation. So Chairman Omali Yeshitela was the primary target of this attack on the Uhuru movement, and the indictment of myself and Penny Hess was part of the attack on him and on the struggle for Black freedom. And as you stated, what happened last September in the trial, the US government called no actual witnesses during the trial. They called only FBI agents who came up and read text messages and emails and things like that. And they were destroyed under cross-examination by our brilliant legal team. And then we were able to introduce evidence showing the more than 50 years of history of the African People's Socialist Party advocating for reparations, speaking out against genocide and colonialism long before this guy in Russia, who they claimed was the puppet master of the Uhuru movement, had even been born. So the jury came back with a not guilty verdict on the main charge, which carried a 10-year prison sentence, which charged the chairman and Penny and myself with being unregistered foreign agents of the Russian government, failing to notify the attorney general that we were Russian agents. They said they are not guilty of that, but they somehow came back with a guilty verdict that we had, quote, conspired to act as Russian agents without notifying the attorney general. In other words, we had conspired to do the thing that the same jury said we did not do.
Let me tell everybody something. Just because you have a jury trial and they say you found guilty, don't mean you guilty. Let me put it that way. They slip people in there, okay? They slip people in there to get other people to go along with it. Well, we'll just go half and half. Won't make it. That's who they put in there. How can you find me guilty of the same thing you said I was not guilty of? I can't get, okay, conspiring to be a Russian agent.
But you're not guilty for being a Russian agent.
But you're not guilty for being a Russian agent. I don't get that. That's what I'm talking about. These people are shifty. These people are nasty. These people don't care what they do. They don't care how many lives they ruin. If they got a purpose in mind, they want to destroy somebody, they're going to try to destroy them. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of lives these people done destroyed, just in the Black community. They lock up for a little bit of nothing. I'm just
they
telling
lock up for nothing.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got people that's doing life right now that ain't never been caught with a crime.
Yeah, exactly. 20 years, 30 years, never been caught with nothing. And nobody really to say that they had nothing. Didn't you hear what that man said? That they didn't put not one witness on the stand. The only witness they put on was them themselves. How you the one bringing the charges? How you gonna be a witness? You ain't there. You ain't been there. You just got the charge. You got to bring it based on something, which they don't. They don't have to. Yeah, they don't have to. You're right, Chef Florida boy. That's right. You know, that's what's going on. That's what's happening out here. We want to keep people alert as to what be going on out here, because people wouldn't believe that they locked this group of people up, that these people up for being a Russian agent. Ain't that what they charged Trump with?
Mm-hmm.
Being a Russian agent, and he wasn't even a Russian agent. But they can make up a bogus charge, man. As long as they say Russia, they own it. I mean, this is the craziest thing that I've ever heard. But they been doing this. This ain't nothing new. This is what I'm trying to say. This is nothing new, bro. It's been happening. We just haven't been aware of it. Well, I was talking to somebody the other day, and we had a discussion about, locking people up and stuff. Well, this is what the community wanted. This is what the people told them. No, they didn't ask them to trick them. That's what they did. People was hollering for guns off the street and drugs off of their thing, but they wasn't hollering to get their kids 20 years for a crumb. Nobody asked for that. Then you get this clown Joe Biden them come up with these laws and rules to go ahead and lock them up for a crumb. That's what they said. I mean, come on, man. That's the kind of stuff.
That's right here at the bottom of the screen, guys. Like, this is why people won't stand up.
Right. This is why people won't stand up, because they try to crush them. They try to crush them on every turn. People just give up. Man, they get crushed. But I'm glad this Uruhu movement ain't giving up. They are not giving up. These people are setting a precedence. That's what we're trying to tell you, of not giving up. If they give up, then nobody will ever try to help do stuff like what they're trying to do. Like I said, which they're trying to bring black grocery stores, black chains in the community and stuff like that, and help out. Yeah, that's just what it is. We'll get back to the video, but I just wanted to interject that.
So it was a very illogical, inconsistent kind of verdict that clearly reflected the deliberately confusing jury instructions and other nasty lies and tricks used by the prosecution. So we were convicted of the conspiracy charge, which carried a 5-year prison sentence. And then a few months later in December, we went down to Tampa, Florida for the sentencing. And as you mentioned, the judge said, no one's going to prison. And this was in response to a huge anti-colonial free speech movement. The courthouse was packed. People like yourself had been shining a light on this case and winning support for the right of freedom of speech. And the judge ended up not putting us in prison, but instead sentencing us to 3 years of probation, 300 hours of community service. So on June 16th, our legal team filed an appeal. We did file an appeal in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals to call for the conspiracy conviction to be reversed on the grounds that the indictment itself was a violation of the First Amendment. This indictment should never have been allowed to even happen, because everything that they charged the chairman and the Uhuru Three with doing was free speech that is supposed to be protected by the First Amendment, the US Constitution. So that appeal has been filed, and we're going to continue to fight this case and take this on until we win.
And so why do you think that the judge would seem to be agreeing with you while disagreeing with your politics, agreeing that what you did was free speech, but then still find you guilty of conspiring to do a thing that the jury said you didn't do? That's even too contradictory for Russiagate, is it not? I mean, that seems crazy. Why do you think the judge did that?
Director.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the judge had even stated, his confliction over being conflicted over, issuing this sentencing and just wanting to follow the law, like all these proceedings, just wanting to follow the law. And of course, everything that we've done and all the work that, that went into this verdict, the outcome of this verdict, which is, not necessarily satisfactory, because we still have to struggle against this bogus conviction. But in terms of ending up with no jail time or any of the $250,000 fine that loomed over all of their heads, which their intention was to crush our movement and crush the work that we do in terms of transforming, like materially transforming the conditions of the Black community inside the US, doing what the US government, local politicians refuse to do. So they wanted to crush those efforts. And, the judge being representative of, and carrying out, what ultimately what the government it was trying to do. That was his ability to essentially not step on the toes of the US government, while, having to acknowledge it was a forced acknowledgement because of the profound work that had been achieved in really exposing that this was a contradiction for the US government's own constitution. It was a contradiction that they had to confront. And so, he was treading lightly, essentially, and, issuing this sentence. So.
And what do you think?
This is the Lamborghini Huracan Storado, and this is the Hennessy Velociraptor.
Why do you think the Biden administration and their Justice Department had it in for you? What did this serve? How did the prosecuting these Black socialists under the guise of Russiagate, basically, which is an obviously bogus?
Well, now I want y'all to pay complete attention to this next segment he's getting ready to talk about, because he just asked the question, what purpose do it serve, okay, to go after these people who's just merely advocating for doing good within the Black community and stuff like that? This is a very important question for everybody that's listening out here right now today. This question is the most important question that he's asking right now. What purpose would it serve? It's just like saying, come out to me and blow. What purpose would it serve just to come out to me and blow? The only purpose it would serve is us not telling you the truth. That would be it. And trying to get you to a certain point where you don't have to depend on the government. You don't have to think that you're defeated all the time, that you don't have to think you're less than, that you don't have to think that you can't do anything. Okay, that would be the purpose that it's serving.
Y'all been telling the truth too much. They gonna say y'all racist.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. That's what I was alluding to just now. This can happen to anybody. It ain't just me and Blow. Yeah, it's anybody that decides to tell the truth and wake up their community so they can do better, strive to do better, and look at things for what they are. Stop getting indoctrinated. Stop getting lied to by the media. Y'all see how the media covered that. They made it seem like, man, a violent raid. On an 83-year-old man, really serious, and his wife. Come on, man, stop playing with me. I'm serious. Stop playing with me. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but we're getting ready to get back into it. Like I say, this was the most important question that Jimmy Dore asked these people. That's crazy.
Charge, and in fact, even the jury and the judge saw it. What was in it for the Biden administration to do this, do you think?
Well, as I mentioned, their objective was to crush our movement, just as it had done in the 1960s, because this is not attacks against Black liberation or organizations is not a new phenomenon in U.S. history. This is a historic process. And, the African People's Socialist Party, founded by Chairman Omali Yeshitela, was founded to complete that struggle that had emerged from the Black Power movement of the 1960s. And with, the Biden administration was just it's just this modern day iteration of, a government that wants to crush resistance that's coming from Black people who are critiquing the conditions, not just critiquing the conditions, but actually setting out to transform our own conditions and to do for ourselves. And, that's what the Uhuru movement has been successful in doing, in developing, economic and political institutions that actually empower Black people rather than having us in this perpetual state of begging, relying on, this government to come and bring resources, aid, and things like that. We've done it for ourselves. And that in turn exposes how the government refuses to do those things with this unlimited access to resources, how it refuses to do those things. So I
this,
think,
this is more about kind of divide and conquer and suppress black movements that are actually empowering their people. So the government and the establishment wants to keep those people subservient and begging for scraps at the table. And then when these black socialists actually develop, let's say, farmers markets and grocery stores and schooling and their own newspapers and radio stations, they can't have that, because that shows that you don't need to be reliant on the government. You don't need to be controlled by them. And very much in the same way USAID around
begging for scraps. They want to keep you begging for scraps. Yeah, they can't have that. You see what I'm saying? When you try to put out black farmers markets and schools and all kinds of stuff that empower the black community, that's what happens, bro. They crush you. That's why people won't stand up, because they're afraid they're going to get crushed by this crooked government, which is, that's all it is. It's crooked, blow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they crooked. You bring the truth to the people, they don't like that. Yeah, they don't like it when you tell them the truth. Yeah. Well, you look at the media. That's why they didn't like Trump. Trump called them fake news, which they was fake news. Mm-hmm. All that fake news they put out during COVID, are you serious? Do you still go back and watch that trash? You get better news off of YouTube than you do off of the news you watch every day. You might get some local news, but they done spent that too. When you're starting to get world news and all of this, if it ain't to their political party's advantage, you ain't getting the truth. You only get the truth when you go to people that ain't got nothing to gain from it. We don't have nothing to gain. What me and Blow got to gain? Yeah. A few shows or something like that. That ain't nothing to us, man. Yeah. We've been approached by some people that we didn't like.
Oh, yeah, but we better have stay away.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you better know when to stay away.
You better.
I always want to hold us down.
Hold each other down. Yeah, we the only reason don't stick together.
That's where they keep us. Just like Jimmy Dore just said, the old conquer and divide. Divide and conquer.
They want to eat poison, drinking trash, and begging for houses.
That's what they want.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they want. They want us doing that. They want us to stay divided. We the only group, actually, that they divide up like that. We can't stick together because they divide us. How did we get so divided on the COVID issue? Me and Blow begging y'all to just do homework, and you wouldn't do it. Nope. I mean, we beg you to do homework. Just do your homework. They told us they hope we get sick. don't get no help. I'm just saying. Yeah. We begged y'all just to do some homework. It wasn't like we hold a gun to you and told you not to take the thing. Don't do the thing. We just say simply do homework, and we got cussed out. Mm-hmm. That's the old conquer and divide we talking about. Man, pay attention. Wake up.
By church folk.
Yeah, by church folk. Absolutely, by church folk. Yeah, that was number one. Yeah, that's the oldest trick in the book. They keep using the same trick on us over and over again, and it keep working.
Yeah, we don't. Only ones with government control housing and the community. Yep.
Yeah, government control.
And knowledge is everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowledge is everything. Literally crazy. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy. I mean, man, we that's why me and Blow come every week, because we try to give you something you haven't heard. Why? Because we know that those people ain't told you nothing that's gonna help you. Period. They ain't gonna tell you something gonna help you. They don't think you to think on. We had a show, what was that, 3 weeks ago, where they was telling you they was intentionally getting you where you wouldn't write nothing. That's why they got computers. Because when you write down, you do thing that allows you to think for yourself. That's the side of the brain that happens when you start writing stuff down yourself and actually writing. Why you think they took it out of school? You don't write nothing in school no more. They realized and they understood and they figured out that side of your brain enables you to think for yourself. That's wild, and it sounds wild, but it's true. That's the particular side. So when you stop writing stuff down and stop writing and doing that, you stop using that side of your brain. Period. So you have to start going back, writing stuff down, and using the part of your brain that gives you the ability to think for yourself.
We see we got a low signal over here.
Yeah, the signal keep going in and out. I don't know what's going on with the well, but I'm trying to hang in. I'm just saying, you have to understand that this is what's going on. They will not tell us this. They will not tell you that. They will try. Yeah, that's what they trying.
You say the service nervous.
Yeah, the service don't like the truth either. Yeah, don't nothing about it. That could be them people. I'm gonna tell you, if you don't think that they monitor us, you better got another thing coming. They definitely monitor us. All our shows, man, they was taking them down left and right. They was giving us strikes left and right. Oh man, especially during COVID, we barely stayed on the air. I'm telling you.
I had to beg for my page back. They took my page. They took my page. They took it.
Yeah, they
told
took
me I could never come back.
Absolutely.
I had to go tell the people, I'm sorry, I won't do it no more. just the thing, open up another page.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy, man. These people don't want you to know them. They don't want you doing nothing for yourself. They want you to be controlled. They want to control you. All welfare is about is being controlled. They want you on that. Yeah, they want you on welfare. They want to be able to control how much money you have. Okay, just think about it. Welfare is a control agent because they're going to give you so much money. They're going to give you cheaper housing. But you're not allowed to make no more money than that. You're not allowed to have another car, a couple cars, or have this or that, the other. Even if somebody helping you, they're going to cut you off. You better not put it in your name. You better not let them know that you have anything. That's just the way it goes.
And they want the man out the picture.
Oh, he better be out the picture.
And it's risky business for the kids you're trying to raise.
Yeah.
That's where the real risky business come in. They're trying to raise kids alone.
Exactly.
Just said people feed off lies.
Yeah, they feed off of it.
Yeah, you're right. That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's really crazy, but it's true.
That's why they try so hard to control all the media.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
They report on, like we say all the time. Some people tell us, oh, well, you got to give both sides. Well, it ain't most of the time, it ain't the other side of what we talk about because they stay away from it.
Absolutely.
See, they stay away from what me and Art talk about.
Absolutely.
But me and Art come on here and debunk what they say.
Well, we always talk about the other side because you already have the side they want you to hear. That's the whole problem. See, by the time y'all get to us at the end of the week, you already have the side they want you to hear. We give you the other side that they did not tell you. That's what we bring to the table. Yeah, the side that they didn't tell you.
Bad man draws you. You better, books in the closet.
Yeah, anything. If a man stay there, they want you out. They don't want to give you no help. They're going to keep getting help. You better not get this nice car in your name, even if somebody else bought it for you and put it in your name. They ain't going to allow that. That's a form of control. They're being controlling you. You ain't going to have but so much. They're not going to let you get but so much. If anybody's on welfare, their goal should be trying to get off of welfare. I admit some people need some help sometimes. But you need to be striving to get up out of that situation. Because it's a dead end. You can't never have anything.
Can't do it so much.
They're gonna let you.
Now there you come and give guidance to kids. Oh hell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they give guidance, all right. But like I told you, they ain't doing nothing but indoctrinating.
Yeah, you're right. That's why they don't want the man in the house. How dare you come and help that boy be a man?
Absolutely. They don't want him to be a man. Like I said from the beginning, they got all these lunatic ideas that should nobody be standing with. You're giving the Winner of the Year award to a man. It still perplexes me how come every woman in the world didn't stand up and say, wait a minute. Yeah, that still gets by me. But I know what happened to him.
I ain't heard nobody say nothing about it now.
Yeah, but I know what happened to him. The media, they made you think that was all right. That's part of the indoctrination process, to make you think that it's okay. It's the old flipperoo. Somebody told me, oh, well, what you got against gay? I ain't got nothing against gay people. Love them to death. Got gay people in my family. I don't got nothing against them. You can't make me say that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. See, I'm not gonna say that. That's the problem. The whole problem right there. You see, when they make you say that, they got you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, when they tell you a little boy can be a little girl can be a little boy, then that's when they get you, when they can get you to agree with that. But they make you think that somebody's got something against them. They's always running around talking about somebody after them. Nobody after you. You just run around trying to get something. I'm just telling it like it is. Nobody's after nobody's gay. You're just out here trying to get something. I get that too. But you ain't gonna just have me saying that it's right, because it's not, because you can't procreate. That in itself makes it not right. Okay? Yeah, that makes it not right in itself. Then you're gonna turn around at the end of the day and say, well, but you got something against. I got nothing against you. But then it's not right. But if you want me to say that that's right, I'm not gonna ever say that. Because you can't be a man, or if you're a woman, you can't be a man. If you're a man, you can't be a woman. Now you can do what you want with your life. I got nothing against that. Yeah, I mean, you can do what you want with your life, but don't except come telling me that make me say it's right.
You're right. You can't make it right.
Yeah, come on, man. You can't make that right. That's what I'm talking about. You know, man. It's sad, but it's true.
They're shoving it down our throats.
Yeah, they shove it down your throat.
Because the first thing some women say, I'm the mother and the father. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, how? Yeah, somebody needs to answer that question. No, you just who you are.
That's it. Went to the NFL again, they got a team pride for like, and the team store. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I already told you about that, man. Shoot, a couple years ago during the NBA playoffs, shoot, they got the Kettle One commercial. They got two men straight up in the bed together. Yeah. I mean, Kyrie out there crossing people over. What you got? Why are you showing that on the commercial break?
Yeah, it's the 52 fake out.
I mean, you got that in the middle of the manliest event. We all watching that. We know ain't too many like that watching the game.
Well, if you can persuade a mom that she's the mom and the dad, you already got half the battle won. Yeah. Okay, you already. I'm like Tom. If you can persuade a woman to say she's the mother and the father, right then they already got half the people almost tricked.
Yeah, but they getting paid to say that though. I keep telling y'all all the time, if they wasn't getting that child support check, it'd be a lot of knock zoom. Yeah, it'd be a lot of that. Oh, you ain't seen your child? You ding dong. You go out there, your two kids standing at the door. And you probably hear yell out doing ID back Sunday night.
They pick them up. That's right.
Yeah, but they'll work on something then. You know, now they'll just be like, man, you get somebody pregnant, man, and won't never see them again.
Yeah.
Child support letter come in the mail, you be in the courtroom somewhere.
Yeah.
Now they in your pocket and you paying, and you can't see the kid. Man, I knew a joker was paying $700 and something a month and couldn't even see the child.
Yeah.
Now how is that? I'm trying to figure out how that works.
Yeah.
Somebody got to explain that to me. I don't understand how you paying $800 a month and you can't see your child. I'll tell you, somebody uncle gonna have to come out in the street.
Yeah.
That's just how I get down.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie. You got to whoop me about my child because I'm gonna be out there saying, look, either you send my child out or you send your uncle out.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of them got to come out of there right now because I'm paying too much money not to spend no time.
Yeah, but that's what they make them believe. If they can make you to believe that, then they already got a toehold into it. You know, everybody with a brain to think for themselves, which they took that away. They took that away from all this next generation. We look at the generation that's below us and all the ones that's coming up now in this next generation, and we wonder what's going on with them. First of all, they didn't give them an education. They gave them an indoctrination. That was the first step. Like we just explained to you how you can't get changed.
Yeah, go ahead and try it.
Yeah,
we challenge you to try it. Go to the grocery store, find the youngest person in there, go up in there, whatever the total is, try to get a $10 bill change back. They say your total 14, 20, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. They stuck. Yeah.
Stevie Wonder paid 25 kids just for the
Yeah.
You right.
Yeah.
That's what they need to start calling it, the Stevie Wonder, because they got so many out here paying that amount of child support and they can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. And that's just the bottom line. You can't get change back. That's what they're doing to our children. But they can tell you about the LGBTQ plus AI, all of that. They know every syllable, all of that stuff. They know how to do that. Why? That's what they've been indoctrinated with. You know, teach them to look at the computer screen all day. Never write nothing down. We don't want you losing the left side of your brain. You might start thinking for yourself.
Yep.
That's what happens.
You might figure something out.
Yeah, you might figure out what's going on out here. And that's a fact. Yeah, we come here to show you this stuff and tell you this. And them people that we've been showing y'all on this clip, okay, they ain't no part of no Russia. Man, say I ain't never been in no Russia. No, and you know it, I know it, and yeah, I can look at him and tell. Man, ain't got nothing to do with no Russian. A Russian agent. He didn't register.
Yeah, man, he communicated, did an interview with one Russian guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he did an interview with one Russian guy, and they swear he was communicating Russian, all this. That was just a way to get to it. Why? This man was working in the black community. He was trying to get black farmers markets, black supermarkets, all of this stuff in the black community, and they just couldn't have it. They just couldn't have it. No, they don't all agree with it.
People don't even know.
Yeah, I talked to them. I talked to a lot of gays. They don't agree with a lot of this mess they're going on. A lot of them don't agree with the kids, indoctrinating the kids and forcing stuff like that on children. They will tell you this out of their own mouth. They do not agree with that stuff, man. But it's the government that's pushing this stuff. It's somebody else that's pushing this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. They're pushing these agendas for a reason. They won't want us procreating. We only 13% of the population is black people. I'll tell you that.
Population control.
Yeah, we only 13% of the population. And they got us out here believing that we the worst thing out here. We the poorest, we the most left out, we everything. Do you know being 13% of a population of 300 million people? Okay, I think that we doing darn good. Only being 15% or 13% of the population, I think we're doing extra with all the black billionaires, with all the black millionaires, with all the black people that's in charge of all police forces and fire forces, all this stuff out here, that the mayors and all of these people they got, man, the sheriff departments and all that. But we doing so bad. Now let Charlemagne come and tell you how bad we doing out here. He ain't gonna never give you the raw numbers. He ain't gonna never give you the real facts. Yeah, nor the news.
Our numbers going down though. Well, they want them.
They want them down when they can get you out there protesting for abortion and you ain't pregnant yet. Come on, man. They want to make sure you don't have nothing. You ain't even pregnant. You out there marching for an abortion. You only got to have. Why don't you try telling the women that you don't even have to get pregnant, rather than you can get an abortion when you get pregnant? Why don't you just stop them from getting pregnant and you don't have to worry about the rest of that? All the millions of dollars that you going to marching and gathering up for that stuff, when you can simply tell the young women you don't have to get pregnant. No, I'm just saying, man, this stuff is too easy. They don't want you thinking like that. They don't want you using your brain. Me and Blow using the wrong side of our brain because we think, and we thinking for ourselves. Just like we told you, doing COVID and all of that.
And I definitely ain't the sharpest tack in the box. But
Yeah.
when I think about it, I ain't gonna be no hypocrite on purpose.
Exactly.
And I ain't gonna talk about it to judge nobody for doing nothing what I do.
Exactly.
And I ain't gonna let nobody tell me I can't be nothing, I can't have that.
Exactly. You did that for how many years?
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long. I believed it.
Actually believed it. They had him believing that.
It took 10 years to try.
Yeah, even started. That's the theory.
10 years, it took me 10 years to try.
I wonder who put that out into the community, that you could never do nothing. You had a felony. You could never get a good job. You can't never. Who put that out? Somebody tell me who actually put that out in the community.
They're gonna say, "When you just pulling the Moscow."
Yeah, I'm gonna say who put that in the community. Somebody put that out there.
Yep.
Yeah, which was bogus in itself and a big lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's to keep people from like Blow from even trying, not even attempting to try. That's where they want you at.
Yeah, I just drunk another 40 and smoked another blunt.
Yeah, yeah.
And believed it. And talked to other people about it, man. Why you want to go get your job, man? Shoot, I got a felony. So
Yeah.
I got two.
They ain't gonna give me no job. They ain't gonna get, especially not no decent job.
And I still got the same two in running the building.
The whole place. Man, that's crazy. See how this thing works? This is the way this thing works. That's how they do it. They do it with trick, the media. They do it with all of this stuff. That's what they do. That's how they do what they do.
So we know we're getting a little glitches in here.
Yeah. For some reason our signal ain't,
Probably the weather though.
yeah, ain't as strong as it should be. But it's okay. We're gonna keep this going because they don't want us showing this. It's probably the mascot thing. That right now. Now our signal come back stronger. Yeah, because we know what they're doing and when they do it. They do this. This is what they do. They done cut in the Me and Blow show before. They done cut in us, make sure we couldn't even broadcast.
Yep, they just showing up here.
Yeah.
Had weeks we couldn't broadcast.
Exactly. Couldn't do nothing.
They had to put us on punishment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Couldn't even let us bring the show on. Couldn't get nothing.
You're right, Coach. We stayed in trouble. We stayed in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't want the truth out, man. Now the truth is coming out and they ain't saying nothing. They silent on it. Yeah. They know to be silent. They know the truth is coming out sooner or later, but they wanted to get you while they was getting you. Got Putin on speed. Man, I'm telling you, these people will make up anything on anybody. That's the reason we don't stand up. But we still got to start standing up, man. We got to start standing up for what's right. Don't let nobody tell you something wrong and you just agree with it because they said it. You need to start questioning everything. When you hear something on the news, you pay attention to it and you say, dog, something don't seem right. Usually it's not right. When it don't seem right, it's not right. When it don't make sense, it's not right. And I seen something one time on the news and I was looking at it. I said, doggone, that don't seem right. It was about some kids or some cat. They had did something. But when they announced it on the news, I'm like, that don't seem right. Something don't seem right about that. And somebody told me, well, you just want criminals to go free. I say, no. I don't want criminals to go free. But I don't want you to lock up not one single person that don't deserve to be locked up. I don't want you to. I'd rather let 10 people go free than you to lock up one person that ain't done nothing. You let them 10 go. They're going to do something else. So you don't have to make people bad. They're going to be bad on their own. They're going to do something else. Yeah, you ain't got to worry. But that one person can't never get that back. He can't get back what they take from him or steal from him. That's why you have to be careful about listening to these clowns. It's just like the Uhurus we're talking about today, locking these people up for nothing. They can't get that back. If that judge would have locked them up, they couldn't have got none of that back. I don't care if they proved themselves innocent down the road. What they took, they stole. That's what I'm talking about. They will steal it from you. That's why you have to be careful about what the media say. And when the media say something, always critique every single thing they say.
And I know everybody that's watching this, they're watching this show, the ones that keep it 100. I know if you watch the news now, because I find myself, if I look at the news the whole time, I'm just looking at the TV because I see straight through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here like, oh my God, like watching the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne, and oh my God. I mean, the man won't even keep it 100, man.
D.L. Hughley, he won't keep it 100.
The man talk about the country going down in the last 6 months, but he ain't never paid $4.50 for gas. I mean, I was at the gas pump taking pictures of the pump with $4.19, $4.29.
Yeah, it was $5 in some places.
That's what I'm saying. Now the gas down is about $3.19, $3.29. I'm good with that. That's good. And you got the regular gas down what? $2.88?
Yeah, just regular gas down to $2 something. Well, what people tell me all the time, these high prices is going up, this, that, and the other. But you don't realize eggs is down, gas is down. All this stuff was looming 6 months ago. This stuff was steady on the climb and on the rise 6 months ago. Now it's coming to a pinnacle. Now it's finally slowing down. It's just like a train running on a track. It ain't gonna just stop. You got to start slowing that something going down, and it's gonna keep. I'm just saying, that something ain't gonna be stopped when you're starting to stop it. It's gonna have so much momentum. Yeah, it's gonna take a few miles, but that's not gonna get stopped. So you believe that. It ain't gonna stop on the dime. That's the way the economy is. When you get it running one way, that's the way it goes. It's gonna take a minute to slow it down. But if you ain't looked around and really recognized that there's some stuff coming down out here, pay attention. Don't listen to the news, because you know what they're telling you right now? Stuff is going up. They were telling you that, the tariffs ain't going to work. Now we done raked in billions of dollars on tariffs, and now they're talking about giving us a rebate check. Have y'all heard that? Probably not if you listen to the wrong news. You ain't even heard that, huh?
I heard that.
Yeah, now they're talking about giving a check back if the tariffs keep coming in. Okay, that's a good thing. Not giving it and spending it all on Ukraine, or giving it and spending it all on illegals, giving them everything free. I ain't got nothing against illegal. but I ain't thinking they ought to be getting nothing free, and we've been over here paying the taxes. I'm just saying, that's what my problem come in at. I ain't got nothing against them. Yeah. But when we the ones out here working every day and you just come in and start just giving people something and you've been taking my money, I call it stealing at that point.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I start to call that stealing. Yeah. Shoot, yeah, you stealing.
You stealing.
Yeah, that's all you're doing. You're giving it to somebody else.
You stealing.
Yeah, why you ain't taking and give it to who I wanted to give it to? Oh, I tell you what, better yet, why don't you let me take out the same taxes and let me give it to somebody I think deserves it.
Let me choose.
Yeah, absolutely. You call yourself doing all this good. These people ain't doing nothing, man. They ain't doing nothing but stealing and finding ways to steal. That's what they've been doing. And when Trump and Elon and them found it out, they got pissed off. Yeah, that's crazy. Boy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, and that's the problem. That's the problem we got going on out here. These people are deceitful.
Yeah, a lot against them in the system that supports them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's some people running this country, and it ain't the president. It's some people running this country above the president. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, Donald Trump ain't running the country. Oh, he do a few things he can do, but the people that's actually running this country, they ain't nothing but pedophiles, okay? They pedophiles, homosexuals, and all of that. That's who's running this country. If not, you wouldn't have all this trash we got going on right now. Ain't no way in earth we would have this trash going on if the people that were supposedly running this country running it. You still got people out here fighting for put gay men back in women's sports. I think it was bad. You got people still fighting. I wonder who paying them to fight that fight. Somebody paying them. Somebody with money.
I mean, all that shows you the unfairness in that. You
Yeah.
got the boy out there, man, done lapped the girls, but he 147th in the men.
Yeah. He the last on the bottom of the total for the men, but you go around there lapping women.
Lee got the trophy in the house.
Man, come on, man. That thing is crazy.
The Joker got the trophy at the house.
Yeah, and something got most of the women not standing up. I applaud. What's that girl's name that's going around fighting for that, man? Get them men out of women's sports and getting Leah Thomas taking the trophy back from him and all that. Man, come on, man. That's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
This stuff needs to be set back straight. This country is being ran by those lunatics, the pedophiles, all the pedophiles that's holding that Jeffrey Epstein thing. Everybody think Trump is holding it. Trump ain't holding it. It's somebody over Trump that's holding it. I guarantee you one thing. If Trump's name would have been in it, it'd have been out. Even if they'd have cut everything out and just put that part out. Democrats was in charge for 4 years. So get that out of your mind, man. Even though Trump is help covering it up, but that's from people that's running Trump. That's where that comes from. That comes from the people that's actually running this country. We'll have some more on that next week. But I'm saying it's some people that's over Donald Trump. That's not who's running the country. It's these pedophiles, these bigger pedophiles. It's people like Israel that's giving all this money to the country.
Okay, $190 and leaders got free health care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's what it is, man. All the $190 co-pays that you got to pay, and then you just step right into the country. 1,000 laws, and then you get to go right there.
Straight right in there for free.
Yeah, get all your health care aids taken care of on my money. Now, and that's what I don't like. That's on my dime. You know what I'm saying? No, don't do that. You know, man, doggone, boy, time goes so fast when me and Blo is over here having fun. We hope y'all having fun too. We want to thank everybody for joining in today. Throw your cash apps up. We'll see you next week, same time, with more information to come.
You already know one thing for sure.
Two things for certain.
Go tell the truth.
Cause it's time.
It's time to
Time to tell the truth.
And the truth hurts.
Yes, sir, it hurts.
See y'all next week.
Peace.